Hi, welcome back to the group, and welcome back to the 3-day challenge. I hope you enjoyed yesterday. Today is day 2, and we're focusing on defining and aligning. We're going to follow what we did yesterday to clarify our value for this year. So if you haven't watched the video from day 1, please go back and watch it. And before we really jump into today's content, let's activate a good state and get in the zone. If you don't know what this means, go back to watch the activation part video of yesterday's beginning. So let's start with identify the triple warmer point. And use your other hand's index finger and middle finger. Tap firmly and quickly on that specific point. And you're going to say I am statements as though you mean them. I am energetic. I am feeling great. I am a learning machine. And I am awesome. When you say that, feel your awesomeness, and anchor them. Good. Now you're in a good state and you're in the zone. Let's dive into today's content. Today's first exercise is going to come up with your initial vision. So let's start with imagination. Imagine you have some kind of superpower and you know whatever you work on will succeed. Integrate this idea into the area you identified with yesterday. The question for you is, what would you want to do this year in relation to that specific area you came up with yesterday? Okay? After this question, you come up with some initial vision, and the initial vision should be attractive to you, at least a little bit. If it is not attractive to you, the vision is not what you want to do. Think again. Make sure you know what you want to do this year in relation to the area you came up with. Okay? It should be attractive. And now you have a vision. I'm asking you, what is the vision? How do you know you had it? You see me highlight the word know here. The word know has a very special meaning in NLP terms. When we say know, we mean see, hear, and feel. So, do you know you have it? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? Is anything in that vision you can touch? If you don't have the answer to this, think of it another way. How could a third party verify that you got what you want? Okay? Once you go through this question, the vision should be more concrete than before. And we will use that vision to find your values. In the third exercise, we're going to make you think a little bit, and you have to write a bunch of stuff down. You know when you need to stop. So be ready to pause the video when you need to. It's okay to pause it and come back. And if you need to review it a few times, it's fine as well. The video will be in the group. So now you have a vision. Contemplate the following. What do you want? This is a very interesting question. When we ask people, what do you want? Most people does not know what they want. They will say, I don't want to work so many hours. It is something they do not want. They will say, I don't want to get burned out. Again, this is something they do not want. Make sure your answer will be something that you really want. I want to work flexible hours. For example, I want to be home by 6 p.m. to have time with my kids. Make sure it is something that you want, not what you do not want. Secondly, what do you want? Should be a tangible outcome. It should be something like, in the vision, I walk 3 miles in 40 minutes and I feel energetic. Or, I weigh 160 pounds. Those are tangible things. There's a value to it. There's a number to it. You know exactly what you want. Walk 3 miles in 40 minutes. It is not something like, I want to be healthy or I feel healthy. Healthy is not a tangible term. So make sure the outcome is more tangible. And what you want must come from you. For example, I see myself keep on fighting forward and climbing through that obstacle. Instead of, I see Richard did something and the obstacle disappeared, so I can go through it. Make sure your outcome comes from you, okay? And the last two things is state it in the present tense. You always want to make sure what you want is a present tense, not something happened before, not something will happen in the future. It has to be a present tense. And state it as though it is true. You don't know if it is true yet, say it as though it is true. Okay? The first question, what do you want? And how will you know when you achieve it? Think of the word no again and think it in your mind. What will achieving this vision do for you? Or why is it important to you? Okay? Now I'm going to give you a format to write those down. I want some outcome. This outcome was deriving from your vision. I want some kind of outcome. What will that outcome do for you? It will give me some benefit. It will make me stronger. It will give me something. What is important about that benefit? Okay, the last answer, the answer to the last question reveals your value. It should be some kind of feeling or some kind of quality. If you list some kind of action, continue ask your question. What is important about that? Until you get some kind of feeling. Okay? So pause here and finish this exercise. You should come up with a value. Good. Let's move on to the value part. What is a value? A value is usually a word or a very simple phrase. It is something that is very important to you. It can be some generalizations that motivate you, dictate your behavior, and you will spend a lot of time on it. A value can be something like peace, love, joy, honest, etc. And why do we talk about value? Because there are a few levels in this graph. And what I'm going to introduce to you is these levels are what we call the layers of the mind in NLP. Okay? And you can see at the very bottom, I have a very small word saying conscious. And on top of the pyramid, I have something that says subconscious. The reason a lot of us didn't achieve what we want is because what we want to change, we always use conscious to achieve it. And we forgot there's a subconscious mind that can help us conquer a bunch of things without me even knowing it. So let's start from the very bottom one. The very bottom is environment or results. And sometimes we have bad results. The first thing we try to do is we change our environment. For example, I'm not happy at work. Okay, let me find another job. I'm changing environment. But on top of the environment, there's behavior. Your behavior dedicate the result, which is your environment. So you might change your environment, or you might change your behavior. You want to change the outcome. Would it succeed? Maybe. It might be hard though, because behavior, environment is very conscious. You have to be very conscious about it. On top of behavior, now we are getting to the subconscious realm. We have potential. The thing about potential is everybody has unlimited potential. You just need to unlock the potential to do the behavior. But how do you unlock your potential? On top of potential, there's beliefs. The reason we are limited in our potential because we have limiting beliefs. Beliefs is the convictions that we believe to be true. Once we change the belief, it can unlock some kind of potential. And on top of that is values. That's why we talk about values. Values is what is so important to you on the deep subconscious level. And on top of it is the identity. Identity is something you say, I am or I am not. It is something that you have been working on all along. And the point about this layer of mind is, if you change from the top up, it will be very hard for you to do that. If you can change from the top, for example, if you know your identity and you want to change it from I am stupid to I am bright, the effect will be, because you change your identity, your values do change and your beliefs is shifted. By shifting your beliefs, you unlock your potential, you change your behavior, you get a different outcome. You get to a different environment, a different result. And because of this layer of the mind, for us, it is very hard to change identity consciously, but it might be easier to change your values. And today, we're going to help you identify your values. If you don't change your values, at least you know your values and you make your outcome aligned to your values. So, earlier, we used this format. I want some outcome, which is derived from the vision. And what will that outcome do for you? It will give me some kind of benefit. And what is important about that? You come up with your value. I want you to come up with 5 values from this format. Okay, use this format and find 5 of your top values. Pause the video here and find your top 5 values. And now you're back. We're going to go to the next exercise. Don't go on until you have 5 value words. Now we're going to order your values. You have your 5 values that is related to the area yesterday. Okay? So, you're going to ask yourself, as it relates to my area. Is value 1 or value 2 more important? Is value 1 or value 3 more important? You continue asking yourself this question until you have established a hierarchy of values. A helpful tool for this is the priority star. And I learned it from Colin Jewett. He's the CEO of Superhuman Academy. And he told me this: to start this exercise, draw a star with 5 tips. On each tip of the star, write a value from the previous exercise. Okay? So you write all your values to the tip. And you ask yourself the question, as it relates to my area, is value 1 or value 2 more important? Okay. If value 1 is more important, I draw a line with arrow from value 1 to value 2, representing value 1 is more important compared to value 2. Continue this with each value. So is value 1 or value 3 more important in relates to the area of X? In this case, value 3 is more important. And I compare value 1 to value 4. Value 1 is more important. Then I compare value 1 to value 5. Value 1 is more important. Once you come up with all this, you calculate the origin of the lines. The origin of the lines will show you which one is more important. For example, in this case, I have value 1 going to, bear with me, I'm going to change my video a little bit because it's moving me out of the frame. Okay, now I'm back. For example, if you look at my slide, value 1 is the origin of 3 lines. Value 1 is more important than value 2. Value 1 is more important than value 4 and value 5. So you see value 1 has 3 as the starting point. I put a 3 next to value 1. And you keep on doing this with value 1, value 2, value 3, and value 4, and value 5. Let's say if my 5 values are peace, passion, freedom, joy, and love, and I would do the same thing after comparing each value, I will come up with a graph looks like this. So I have peace, passion, freedom, joy, and love. And once you compare them, you will come up with numbers. In this case, you will see peace has 3, passion has 2, or 1 actually, passion has 1, freedom has 4, joy has 2, and love has 0. This is the way I compare the hierarchy of orders. In this case, freedom is the highest order. Then it comes with freedom, peace, joy, passion, and love. That's my top 5. Now, you should have the 5 top values in related to some area, and they're in order. Just remember, values might change. Depends on the time, the place, and the situation. For example, you might say, in a regular day, I would say honest is more important than fulfillment. But in a situation where I have not drink or I have not have anything in 2 days, I might feel fulfillment is more important than honest. And notice that the words that I choose matter. It might mean different things. A fulfillment might mean different things in a regular day or when I'm really hungry. So the meaning of the words might change, again, based on the time, the place, and the situation. You can do this exercise regularly to get the very bottom of your values. Once you do this very regularly, eventually your values might not change all that often. The order and the words you choose will be very, very similar. Okay? Stop here if you have not finished it Once you have your order of values, let's continue with the next exercise. And this is the last exercise for day 2. What we're going to do is we are going to create your vision. This time is a little bit different. We're going to create the vision based on your values. It should be very, very compelling. Because the vision is from your value, you will find it very, very compelling, very attractive to you. The way to do it is, let's start with a blank canvas in your mind's eye. That canvas represents your value. And ask yourself, what does value 1 look like in relate to your area? And let your mind come up with the picture. Don't force your mind to come up with a vision. Give it time and allow it to generate something. The vision might be static image, and it can be a movie as well. Either one is fine. And when you ask yourself that question, what does value 1 look like in the area? If you hear some sound or you have some kind of feeling, add those to the canvas. Okay? Make sure it contains everything, the sound, the vision, and the feeling. That's value 1. Then ask yourself, what does value 2 look like with value 1 in that area? And let your mind come up with a picture. So if you compare my value 1 picture and my value 2, there's something added to it. It might be something that is added to the picture. It might be transforming. And it's fine, because the way you ask your question, the way you ask yourself the question is, how does value 2 look like with value 1 in the area? And the picture will just represent that. Once you have value 1 and 2, ask yourself, what does value 3 look like with value 1 and value 2 in the area? Let your mind come up with the picture. And continue do this until you ask yourself, what does value 5 look like with value 1 to 4 in the area? Give yourself some time. Let your mind come up with something. And when you are done with all the 5 values, and you will have the vision, finally add yourself in the picture. If you're already in the picture, you don't have to change it. But if the picture does not have you in it, make sure you add yourself in the picture. You want to see yourself in that picture. Okay? Have you ever heard of the sound of a master lock? When it is locked, you'll hear click sound. Okay? Look at your vision and feel the feeling that the vision brings you. Now hear that master lock click sound and lock that image in your mind. You now have a vision that is with you all the time. You can take it wherever you are. You can review it whenever you want, because it is already locked with you. Now, when you review that vision, how do you feel about it right now? What is the name of that feeling when you're looking at this picture in your mind's eye? Write that feeling down. This vision might be identical to your initial vision, but it might be a lot different from your initial vision. I want you to compare the two visions. Which one is more appealing to you? The later one should be a lot more attractive to you because the later one is aligned with your vision, is aligned with your value. You use your value to create this vision, and it's the vision you really want. And this is it for day 2. Today, you wrote a bunch of things down in the workbook. And in the workbook, I provide a few prompts for you to continue day 2. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you tomorrow in the group. Bye.